Hello, Active Sage here on the Sage channel, and long and behold, you're probably staring at, a very, very blurry screen. Well, let's clear away that blur and see my largest warship ever. This monstrosity in front of you is called the Asterisk, because sometimes there's a little asterisk at the corner of a page and it actually means a whole lot more than you think it should. Also, it kind of looks like an asterisk from this angle. That's the real purpose of it. It's not very tiny, that means a lot. No, it's a humongous, massive ship. And I think Shadowplay's probably capturing my frame rate, which is currently running at 9 on my 980 at 1080p. So yeah, it's a big ship. I actually originally built this ship to go ahead and fight Admiral Zoc, or Zaklil, however you like to say it. His name is Joel. He does the official Space Engineers videos for the Space Engineers Keen Software House main channel. And he likes to do streaming. He'll have a link down below to his streaming channel, and he's been wanting to do some big ship battles for a while. He's been winning them all, apparently. So I thought, you know what? Let's do this. Let's build a big old ship that can down him in one. Take him out, rockin' socks off. Well, you know, I went overboard, honestly. I brought Scott in here the other day. I wish I could show you the footage of that, but unfortunately it didn't quite capture. But, he basically told me, no, you can't bring it to the battle. You can't bring it to a battle between Zoc and other people and all this stuff, just because you'll crash the server it's hosted on. So yeah, unfortunate. You're probably wondering why I'm not moving. Well, because if I move, it's rather sickening. I shall now demonstrate such movement and how sickening it is right now. And I'm in spectator mode. I'm holding W and D right now. Nothing's happening. Let's do an F8. Let's do a middle mouse click. Try to get... Oh god, yep, you can see very, very sickening. I'll just move us really quickly to somewhere else. I should be in spectator mode right now. Oh, no, it's not letting me even go to spectator. There we go. I spammed F8. Now we're in spectator. Yeah, so you can see, it's very, very sickening to see such a low frame rate. But you can see, this is the Asterisk. Let's actually look at it some, even because I guess, you know, we're never ever going to see this thing battle Zoc unless Zoc brings his ship into this world. We'll just go over the Asterisk here and its laggy beauty. So we'll start at the top here, and I'll just fly this laggity down here. There we go. In fact, we're going to go to the other side where there's some more light. Yeah, sorry about the frame rate. There's nothing I can do. And for once, I'm not going to play the blame game and blame the game, because I know I did kind of go a bit overboard. So here's at the end of each of these large pillars of the Asterisk. This is its main, you know, straightforward weapons array, just in case something goes and tries to get to the side of it where they think they might be a little bit safer or flying close. We got the little tiny turrets in there to blast their brains out, and then we got the bigger turrets there to annihilate everything in the whole entire universe. And you can see the way I've set them up is actually, oh, forgive the lag. I have these metal platforms sticking straight out with piping going through them, so we can have the turrets facing out to our left now. And straight in the middle here, if we laggity lag to look in there, you'll actually see we have a doorway that leads into a main hallway that sort of connects the whole ship up. Let's laggity ourselves back out over here, and we can now see all the turret platforms that we have set up that composes a large portion of the ship. This is simply a weapons platform, basically, the Asterisk. It's designed to float about and annihilate the entire universe if need be. What was it? Scott had actually said it sort of looks like something that was not designed to stop Zoc, but designed to destroy a planet. Yeah, I went a bit overboard on some of it. I admit, look at the frame rate. I'm sure you're all vomiting from it. Here, I'll stop the camera right here. I came over here because there's more light. You can see again, there are many a turret here. It just looks like a confusing mess of moving parts here. I'd access the control panel and tell them all to stand still so you could get a better look, but that would take me literally half an hour, and I don't currently feel like doing that. So let's go ahead and actually zoom in on this. These are, I can't remember the mod name, but it's the only mod I have on this world. So you can go ahead, it'll be down in the description below if you want to grab this mod. It's the only one that is Zoc allowing too for his big ship battles, so I've gone ahead and plopped it on here and used it. But these guns are actually pretty huge. If we were to go ahead and look at a singular block, just in case you aren't quite getting the scale here from everything. Let's spam your buttons. There you go. So you can see that's one block. So these turrets are about 5 blocks square. Pretty huge things. You can see behind them, if we were to go ahead and rotate our camera, laggity lagging about a little bit, you can see I've basically gone ahead and had these big flat platforms. I stuck 2 turrets down on the front of it. There you go. It's a little easier to see. So that you can see down at the bottom there, And at the top, we have these flat platforms stuck 2 turrets there, 2 above them, 1 little baby in the front, all piped up down beneath the floor. The floors themselves are all heavy metal with 1 heavy metal all around the outer edge, as well as, of course, the ceiling of the floor below it being yet another heavy metal, so the pipes are actually pretty well protected for the most part going down into that center area. The turrets themselves, of course, one above the other. You can even see in the center we have a support pillar that connects each platform with each other, and they're sort of like interlocking fingers when the turrets go through each other. Wow, clippy clippy. But you can see here, once again, I had more armoring and sort of bumped this up to put a turret on it, and even made its own little nice feet seats to hold it all in place. Ah, lovely, lovely turret faffing mess. Will these turrets destroy each other? I'm not sure. The game doesn't really like me actually turning on and putting enemies in so much. But they're all in. You can see I have 1,000,001,001 turrets. Of course, getting close to any of this means if you're a little tiny fighter or a little tiny person, you might actually have a chance. But then again, you'd have to get pretty close, and there are quite a few of them to be firing at you as you attempt to get close. If we carry on down here, you can see we come to a different type of platform, a slightly smaller platform type here. Once again, though, we have the armor panel on the floor, as well as a siding for the pipes, basically. If you don't know what I'm talking about by that, it's just this big clump here, where you get the floor, in the middle we have the paneling for the pipes, and then the ceiling of the next floor down. And you can see on this one we do have, once again, more turrets. Not nearly as many as above, but you can see I found you can place them stupid close together, so that I've got tons and tons of them, and even some slightly smaller ones. And these sections, because I set them up a bit differently, they're a bit square, not so outcroppy as the ones above. Look at this, we have smaller turrets here, so we can actually do damage to smaller incoming fighters and stuff. Below that, we do have some connection ports on each of the sides of these, and then all of our thruster arrays. Yay! So we have left and right thrusters here, and then of course it's mirrored on all the other sides. And then we actually have the thrusters on the other pillars that are sticking out of the Asterisk, allowing to move in every direction, theoretically. I haven't converted it to a ship because last time I did my game crashed. We'll try it again at the end of the video. If we were to go ahead and actually look inside this thing, oh, by the way, yes, we do have more turrets here, like the little tiny anti-fighter ones, and then the slightly bigger ones here, all the way down, all the way. There's even a door right here in the middle. On all the sides of these, we got a door that leads into the center of that. So you can see we got turrets all the way down the body of it for smaller stuff, trying to get into this sort of area where the big turrets can't hit it. The store does still do damage. Awesome, fantastical, wonderful. Anyway, we're going to now fly all the way back up to the top of this, out to the side of it. Turn on our flashlight so we can see what we're doing. Laggity our way through the plus sign on the end of the Asterisk, through this door, and you'll actually see the inner workings of the ship. Oh, it's a bit cramped and even more laggy than I feared. So yeah, you're going to see everything. I've actually gone ahead and piped it up. There's no cheatsy doodle, no empty voids in here. If we come down a few floors, because those top platforms actually have pretty much no excess space in here, so we'll lag our way down here. Forgive me for making you vomit, but I mean, well, I don't know what I mean. Just sorry. That's what it is. There's no fix for this. I doubt there'll ever be a fix for this. Ah, you can see there in front of us, it's a psychedelic change. And what is this? Thrusters inside? So originally, I wasn't going to have the Asterisk with all these different sides. I was just going to really have one big tower of turrets, and then I'd mirror it on the other side. So I did put quite a few gyroscopes in here, and even thrusters to propel it, well, what would be downwards if we're considering this a tower. And we got a few of those behind each other with just enough space so they shouldn't, in theory, annihilate one another, which I believe is 3 or 4 blocks. I think 3 is technically enough, so that's probably what it is. Then we come to sort of a change of pace. Ooh, more reactors. Would you look at that? We got some reactors in here just in case, but then we come into the main hall of the ship. I love the looking down this. I love the looking down this. I love looking down this. This is actually that area where we have the smaller turrets along it. It's a bulk I built first, and if we were to fly into this slightly psychedelic hallway, you'll see we have lots and lots of gyroscopes all around us. In fact, we've got far more than that. If we were to gently rotate our camera, we might be able to glimpse a few other things. It's a very odd design. There's a cargo container. There's a lot of stuff in here. I'll show you more in a second. But first off, let's vomit and laggity lag our way straight down to the middle of the ship. So here we go, we're now in the rather confusing center of the ship. Almost reminds me of something that the Borg would build. Very confusing, not really designed one way up or down. I'll turn off my light even, so it's even more confusing. There you go, you lose all sense of depth. It's just pipes and mayhem and confusion in here. Anyway, if I was to go ahead and fly off to the side while staying in here, some of it might start to make sense. So you can look down at the bottom, you can see there that's leading into another one of the towers, as we're calling them. In the very center, you can see we have a lot of oxygen containers and oxygen generators in this sort of square grid. And then we also have this large sort of odd structure around that. If you're to fly around a little bit more and lag ourselves to death, you can see we have these pillars from our right and left reaching out to sort of hold a metal grid with the corners sort of made out of conveyors. It's very odd. And then those big pipes that I was talking about, the beams, I should say, carry on all the way to the middle, where we have this sort of odd, almost diamond-esque thing here, which has a few supports shooting off of it to hold on to. Oh, looking around is very disgusting. Sort of reaching out of it to hold on to everything else, as well as the actual oxygen generators and stuff, just in case any other conveyors or pipes or supports are broken, it'll be holding on to it. In the very center here, in this strange thing, we'll go ahead and laggedy ourselves through the wall. You can see this is our one and only sad little cockpit. Yep, just sitting in here. In fact, I'm going to rotate the screen so you can see that there technically is an up and down on the ship, but it doesn't really matter. And there we go, it's just about upways. And we're actually going to fly out of it and fly down, and you can see we are vomiting because there's no frame rate here at all. For God's sakes, forgive me for that, it's disgusting. But you can see we do have some pipes coming out from some of the oxygen generators and going across just to the middle, where they have the large connectors connecting in that cockpit. So, ha! You will actually have oxygen in there. It's a one-person mega ship from hell. Also, everything is going really yellow, apparently. That's just awesome. I guess it's because there's some yellow stuff on screen. Is it getting yellower? Anyway, that's the interior here. It's of the very center. You see some jump drives and stuff. I'll be explaining those in a millisecond. It is, almost looks like a tetrahexadon fucking deepadoop thing. I can't remember the name, but I've completely forgotten. It's a, four-dimensional object, I think. I can't remember the proper name of it, forgive me. But yeah, let's zoom out of there so you can kind of... Oh, nope, a little bit more. So there you go. So you can see the full structure there. It's crazy. There's even some more support beams going in between on the left there. You'll see these big angle support beams going in between everything, holding the different towers together almost, giving you a little bit more extra armor inside. Yeah, anyway, we fly out of that, and you can see that's where we were, in the very center of the Asterisk, a completely mad, confusing cacophony in there. But I'll go ahead and show you, these big sections with the thrusters on them, what's actually inside them. Because we flew down the center of them, there's a little bit more to them. So I'm going to really quickly zoom out, get away. That should give us a few more frames. There we go. And there we go. You can see the sort of modular sections that I used to build this whole place up. There we go, we're up to 31 frames per second, even though it still feels like it's a bit slower. I suspect our simulation speed is, yeah, at 0.1. So it's going to be a bit laggedy no matter what, even if our frame rate has recovered. Anyway, you can see here that there's the main tunnel we flew down right there. But off to the sides of it, you can see there were actually all these other little tunnels that you could have flown down, where you have all this space in here, this strange angular format. And in fact, if we were to go ahead and select right about there. Got ya. I said, got ya. Awesome. And in fact, let's just go ahead and use our symmetry plane and remove that symmetry plane so it'll make cutting this a little bit easier. Hold Control, right click, and then hold Shift and go ahead and cut this whole thing in half. We might have a few explosions here. Oh no, everything still remained functional. We'll delete this half. There we go, and now you can see the actual cutaway inner workings of this thing, where you can see there's all those gyroscopes we had, forgive me for that frame rate, flown past, and then behind them they were actually all connected to jump drives. 1,000,000,001 jump drives. So this thing could have, jumped from one side of the universe to the other, and remember, each one of those large pillars, towers, sections with the thrusters is all full of this nonsense. And you'll also see that, oh, where is it? Yes, everything is piped up. You'll get a few of these oddity pipes here, where the pipe actually, you can see, goes through the gyroscope areas and leads all the way up to those turrets on their little outcroppings up there above. Oh yes, we had a reactor in here. I want to say thruster because they're powered by a reactor. Anyway, though, you can see tons and tons of reactors, and way more than enough to power all of these gravity generators simultaneously. Yeah. Oh, and then of course, unfortunately, something you do miss is we had the reactors sort of here, and I believe, yes, we even got reactors over here, so there's a whole bunch of them. But you can see at the corners we had our cargo containers just sitting there, keeping the universe alive. Yes, a whole lot of stuff. I would love to fly through this with a nice smooth frame rate, but that shall never happen in this game. As much as they could optimize it, I don't think they're going to support things like what's behind me causing this chaotic drop. Anyway, this is just that same tower section that we had all those turret platforms on. You can see a pretty simplistic design overall, just a lot of pipes and some redundancy and stuff like that that leads up the center of all of this. Alrighty guys and gals, that is the Asterisk and its laggy frame rate and modular sections. Let's go ahead and attempt to get back into there. We'll teleport our character in there and try to convert it to a ship. Why not, eh? Why not? We'll fly over to this mad behemoth, through the whole thing on accident there. There we go, we're in the center now. Let's try to slow down our camera movements. We're right at the right spot pretty much. Yeah, kinda. It's very hard to see. Oh boy, I love the vomit. It was not really slowing down when I mouse wheel down to slow down our movements. I'll do a control space, teleport my character in here in theory. In theory, of course. Then again, maybe it's not even picking it up, because it's maybe not registering the control being pressed. There we go, I saw something change. Hopefully it's not just me clipping through something. Nope. There we go, we'll do our F6, grab our character, grab our cockpit, and go ahead and try to convert it to ship just to see how much its mass actually is. I'm pressing K. Ah, look, there it is. Info. Let's see. Oh good, it's only 255,000 blocks. I mean, and there's only 31,000 non-armor blocks, so it's mostly just armor. Alrighty, let's go ahead and convert to ship. And we're at my desktop. Fantastic. You probably want to see the guns fire. That's not going to happen. Alright, change of plans. I've decided I am going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of combat. I say combat, bombardment, really. So, what we have on the right side of the screen, you can see the Asterisk sitting there ready to destroy something, and on the left side of the screen I have a little segment, a modular segment of it that I've put up there. And what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm not actually going to show you doing it, I'm just going to cut ahead, but I'm going to set that little piece to be owned by space pirates, and everything else to be owned by me. Now, combat. And okay, this footage is a bit slow. This is what it actually looks like, and I didn't capture them starting to fire because I was still in the UI attempting to get out of it. Let's go ahead and speed this footage up, shall we? There we go, a bit quicker. It's still going to stutter maybe a bit here and there from large frames where it stopped, but you can see this is a little bit closer to what it would be if the game could actually handle such a ridiculous structure as this, firing so many turrets. A complete and utter chaotic bombardment of stuff. The small chunk out to the left actually did do a little bit of damage to the Asterisk itself, a bit of firing back there. But overall, it didn't do too much, and you can actually see it getting slowly eaten away from all the weapons fire flailing into it. In a second here, I'm going to show you, I did get a few more camera angles of this, such as one of, well, what it would look like if you were being bombarded by so many weapons. And then I believe I do have another angle here of what it's like, just, with the planet in the background. And you can really see how it's just completely eaten away a large section of the structure. Just mauled right through it, heavy armor and all. And I slowed this one down just a little bit because finally the actual explosion effects were playing in this one. And, of course, because, well, to let it sink in all the destruction. In fact, right now I've actually stopped accelerating footage at all. This is how it was at the end. It actually sped up a little bit. And you can see that huge final bombardment of all this smoke and chaotic particles and all this stuff. And you can see that pretty much just, maybe a shell is even too much of what was left. I mean, it was, yeah, not much left. I even cut to another angle here, so you can see, I even brightened this one. It got pretty badly burned. Oh boy, man, it was, devastating. You can see this is the starting angle, and it's just, there's nothing left of it up there. Oh boy. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you a bunch for watching. Hope you liked this, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta.